Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for coming.
Food insecurity is a big concern for the United Nations, and we know that Peru is a major global food producer. Can you tell us more about the UNDP program for sustainable coffee in Peru and the SDG fund for quinoa producers?
En el Perú mantenemos una muy sólida relación con el programa
In Peru, we
de
maintain a very strong relationship with the United Nations Development Program.
programas
In fact,
que
we have programs in which we have developed value chains for coffee,
cacao,
cocoa,
pero
and
también
quinoa.
con la quinoa. Nosotros a través de
Through the Ministry
iniciativas
of the Environment in regions
como
such as
Cajamarca,
Cajamarca,
como
Loreto, and
Sureste,
San
San
Martin,
Martín, estamos congregando a los
we are
agricultores
bringing farmers together to ensure that coffee and cocoa production is sustainable,
que sean
environmentally
sostenibles,
friendly,
ecológicamente amigables
and,
y sobre
above
todo
all,
que
that it
comprometa
involves the
el compromiso de las
participation of
comunidades
Amazonian communities in this
amazónicas
work.
en este trabajo. Algo muy importante
Something very
es
important is that we have set ourselves the challenge of positioning our coffee as a high quality coffee in the world by 2030. But we are also thinking about cocoa, which is now recognized worldwide. And these two products, specifically coffee and cocoa, have made it possible to work on replacing coca leaf crops. Farmers no longer grow coca. Today, they grow coffee and cocoa, which has enabled them to generate significant income and, above all, to be on the right side of the law. But on the other hand, we also have the production of Andean grains. These Andean grains, known as superfoods, such as organic quinoa, which is now sold in almost every supermarket in the United States and around the world, have allowed us to contribute to food security.
Seguridad alimentaria.
You're just 5 years away to 2030. How is Peru doing with its progress with the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs?
Nosotros estamos conscientes
We are
que la
aware
Agenda
that the 2030
2030
agenda will
es una
greatly
agenda que
alleviate
permitirá
the major
aliviar
problems facing the international community today.
problemas que hoy día tiene la comunidad internacional. El
C-Plan is the
es la
institution
en el
in Peru responsible for the
encargada
long-term planning of
precisamente de la
Peru's
fijación
vision
a
for the
largo
future.
plazo de lo que es una visión del futuro del Perú.
In this vision for 2050, Peru has taken care to align that vision perfectly with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals.
Con los 17 Objetivos de Desarrollo. Nosotros estamos apostando fuertemente además.
We are also strongly committed to expanding our electricity grid to reach the most remote villages. We are also working hard on everything related to gender equality policies. And, of course, we do not overlook the importance we attach to the international climate action. Peru will host the 16th World Forestry Congress in 2027, which reflects the importance that Peru attaches not only to climate change, but also to the conservation of our Amazonian forests, which contribute significantly to this task. On the other hand, let me also say that we are committed to greater social inclusion. In Peru, we would like all social groups to be able to participate actively in decision-making, especially in matters that directly affect the satisfaction of their needs. We are calling on academia. We are calling on the political class. But we are calling on the social groups in general to become involved in decision-making and problem-solving. We believe in a Peru that is more just, more resilient, more equitable, and above all, more united.
Y sobre todo más solidario.
Brazil is hosting this year's COP30, and the country's indigenous population is playing a major role in the climate summit. How important is their voice in the fight against climate change, especially in the Amazon region?
Primero, permítame felicitar
First, allow
la
me to congratulate
realización
Brazil
de
on its commitment
estas
to these
tareas tan
important tasks.
importantes. Nosotros en Sudamérica
We
compartimos
in
con
South
Perú
America
muchos
share the
valores
Amazon with
de
Brazil,
Amazonía.
and there,
Allí
the conservation of
la
the forest
conservación
is
del
a
forest
task
es
that
una
has been
tarea
carried
que
out by our
siglos
native
atrás
communities since ancient
la han
times.
llevado a cabo nuestras comunidades
Native
nativas.
communities not only have a
Y
history
las
in the Amazonian
comunidades
forest,
amazónicos
but they are
precisamente
also
por eso
responsible for their conservation.
mantienen la conservación de estos bosques.
That is why
Por
we
eso
are
nosotros
convinced
estamos
that any
convencidos
activity
que
related to the
acompañar
Amazon must
con las
significantly
ONG, con
involve the
cualquier
communities that live there and conserve
iniciativa,
them.
las comunidades que allí habitan
The
en el
need we
bosque,
have to interact with the forest,
la
and when
necesidad
necessary, to
que
take advantage of its
tenemos de interactuar
resources,
con el
is a
bosque
task
cuando no
that
podemos
presents us
ya
with great
aprovechar sus
challenges.
recursos es una tarea que nos enfrenta a nosotros a grandes retos.
On one
Por
hand,
un lado, la
conservation,
conservación, pero por
but
otro
on
lado,
the other
también la
hand, the
necesidad
need
de
for
progreso.
progress.
No podemos permitir que estas
We cannot allow these two situations to be
situaciones sean
antagonistic.
antagónicas,
We
sino
must
que
make them
deben
work
hacer que
harmoniously.
trabajen armónicamente. Nosotros creemos además en que hay que
We also
pensar en
believe that we
una
need to think
forma
of a more
más
intelligent way to decide
inteligente
on the governance
para
of
poder
communities,
decidir
their
sobre la
forests,
gobernanza de las
conservation,
comunidades
and the
y
contracts that can be made on these
explotación y
lands.
contratación que se puede hacer en estas tierras. Nosotros estamos seguros que los
We are
países
confident that
amazónicos
starting with COP30, the Amazonian countries will be able to find solutions together for the conservation of these forests,
soluciones para la conservación
on
de
which the
estos bosques,
economies
los cuales
of these regions also depend to a large
afectaría
extent,
la
and
economía
which
de
it is
estos
important to be able to
también es
exploit.
importante poderla explotar.
Ambassador Gustavo Adrianzen, thank you for joining
Oh,
us.
thank you very much. Thank you.